Today's hearing is hybrid. Our witnesses in person. Members have the option to appear both in person or virtually. For those joining remotely, a few reminders. There will be a slight delay before you're displayed on the screen when you start speaking. Please click the mute button until it's your turn to speak. You should all have a box on your screen labeled clock. For those of you joining virtually, you'll have a bell ring at 30 seconds. Then when your time's up, we'll move on if there's a technology issue. Our speaking order, as usual, will be that by seniority, the members who have checked in before the gavel came down, either in person or virtually, and then by seniority of members arriving late, alternating between Democrats and Republicans. The committee meets today to consider the nominations of Todd Harper to be chair of the National Credit Union Administration, Judith Pryor to be first vice president of Export-Import, Owen Hernstad to be a member of the board of directors of the Export-Import Bank. We thank the nominees for appearing. We extend a warm welcome to their family and friends in attendance. To the nominees, thank you for your willingness to serve in these important roles. For Ms. Pryor and Mr. Harper, thank you for your continuation of service. If confirmed, the nominees before us today would play pivotal roles in ensuring the safety and soundness of our credit union system and supporting U.S. workers and manufacturers as they compete in a global marketplace. As chair of the NCUA, Mr. Harper would lead an independent agency responsible for regulating and chartering federal credit unions, ensuring the deposits of some 5,000 federally insured credit unions, protecting the millions of credit union members. As first vice president and member of the board of directors, Ms. Pryor and Mr. Hernstad would be 2 of 5 directors of EXIM, playing an important role in helping level the playing field by stepping in to offer export financing when the private sector is unwilling or unable to provide it. The nominees before us are well qualified for these roles. They possess the background, training, and experience to take on the many challenges that this country faces today. Mr. Harper is President Biden's nominee for chair. He was first confirmed by the Senate with a bipartisan vote to the 3-member board in 2019, designated as chairman this year. Prior to serving, he's director of the NCUA's Office of Public and Congressional Affairs and chief policy advisor to 2 former chairs. It's the first NCUA career staff member to serve on the board. He understands the role that credit unions play in local communities. He's the first openly gay leader of any federal financial regulatory agency. Mr. Harper previously served as a staff in the U.S. House of Representatives, including staff director for the Subcommittee on Capital Markets, Insurance, and Government-Sponsored Enterprises. Congratulations, Mr. Harper, on being renominated, and welcome back to the committee. In July, President Biden renominated Judith Pryor to the board of directors. She's proudly a native Ohioan, hailing from the eastern Cleveland suburb of Richmond Heights. She has more than 25 years of international business, finance, and public policy experience. The Banking and Housing Committee supported her nomination as a board member of EXIM in 2018 and 19. She worked with former chair, Republican Kimberly Reed, and current board member Spencer Backus to reopen EXIM after a 4-year shutdown of all medium and large transactions, which abandoned workers and stalled the creation of more manufacturing jobs. Prior to joining EXIM, Ms. Pryor served as Vice President for External Affairs at OPIC. It's always good to see an Ohio on the panel. Ms. Pryor knows how important EXIM is to my state. So many states represented by Democrats and Republicans on this committee. Congratulations and welcome. Final nominee today is Owen Hernstad. For 30 years, Mr. Hernstad has served in various roles at the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, an organization representing hundreds of thousands of workers from across the country and a very important organization in my state. He currently sees as Chief of Staff to the International President and Director of Trade and Globalization. He assists in running one of the largest manufacturing and transportation unions in the country, spanning several industries, working with many leading export companies. At IAM, he's developed policy on international trade and human rights and international labor standards, all very important to me and to this committee. He served on the EXIM Advisory Committee. Welcome, Mr. Hernstad. Thank you for your many years, especially on behalf of working people. A confirmed board is important to continue the bipartisan work started under President Trump to rebuild the capability of the bank. American workers and businesses need a fully functioning EXIM. The pandemic slowed all economic activity, but China continued its massive deployment of export financing to assist their state-backed companies. 2020 EXIM's medium and long-term export credit financing was 1/10 the amount offered by the Chinese government to their exporters. I worked with Chair Crapo, Chairwoman Waters, and Ranking Member McHenry on the 2019 reauthorization to ensure that XM